Hello, Atlanta. My name is Ricky. I'm here with the lovely Shyran Showcase and her son Eddie, her artist Satellite Syd, and Tay Cheesy, and we're here to talk about some current music here in Atlanta. And if we're lucky, we'll get some history out of Miss Shyran Showcase here. So I believe we wanted to start with the younger artist here, Tay Cheesy. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. Can we just start by? Would you just share your Instagram handle so that anybody who sees this can know how to find you?
My Instagram is at Taycheesy, Taycheesy.
Awesome, thank you. Share a little bit about yourself. Are you from Atlanta and like your history, and then we'll get into your music.
No, I'm not from Atlanta. I do have a lot of family here in Atlanta.
Okay.
I currently live in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I relocated here last year,
Okay.
the end of 2025. After, a lot of people who, are from Atlanta have been asking me to come and saying it's a good idea for me to relocate to Atlanta for years. And, I was fighting it, just not wanting to move because I always moved a lot growing up. So I just wanted to stay settled for a little while. But after a while, once I hit a ceiling where I was living, which was Mississippi, it was time for me to move to a bigger place with more resources. And that's what I did. I actually met Miss Shyran Showcase. She came to Mississippi back in 2021.
Yeah, I think so.
Back in 2021. And she reached out to me and we became close. She told me about Shyran Showcase, her club O'Reilly's, all the history of the different artists she discovered and blew up, and just about her and her history. And I always just loved it and respected it. And then when I came here to Atlanta, she reached back out, and it was just like it was when we last talked a few years ago.
Wow. And so you're pretty recent. You need a second? You could get it out. So you're relatively recently transplanted here, but
Yes.
you're co-signed by Shyran Showcase, which is that's can't get more Atlanta than that.
Most definitely.
Tell me about your artistry, your influences. Let's hear kind of what you grew up listening to and.
Yeah, so I've been in the entertainment business for like 6 years, I say, professionally. I
Okay.
grew up listening to a lot of Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I'm an old soul. That's what
Okay.
they call it. So James Brown. And the way I am, the artist that I'm influenced by, I like to look at who they're influenced by. So I can go all the way back to Jackie Nielsen. I can go all the way back to the Four Tops.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Temptations, people of that nature. I like to study the people that started it, the greats, so I could become one of the greats. So that's what I'm pretty much in. So I bump old school music like it just came out yesterday. So
Okay.
those are my influences. As far as the new school, I could say like Chris Brown's and Beyonce. Her artistry, like her performance is great. People like that. I'm real performance based since I'm a dancer. So,
Okay. And you so you're a dancer. You do
music.
you're a vocal performer too, right?
Yeah.
Singer, rapper. Tell us a little more.
I pretty much make like dance music right now. So my first song was a line dance song.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put it in the genre of Southern Soul.
Okay.
But I'm going to branch out to, of course, pop music, some rap music, a different variety. So I don't want to really put myself in a box right now since I'm just getting started.
Smart. It's to me, I think when you do one thing, it's easy to grow fast. But when you want to create a sustainable career, it's good to have a wide net and claim a lot of real estate. It takes a little longer to build, but I think it's worth it. So
Right.
good for you on that foresight. I imagine you've had some good guidance along the way.
Most definitely. Like I say, coming into Atlanta, even before, because I was in Atlanta, I'd say like a month before Miss Shyran found out I was here, and she reached out cussing me out, talking about, you came here acting funny. I said, no, I didn't. What are you talking about? I've been running like crazy. I'm still getting settled. I came by myself. So I'm coming, getting settled into a new house by yourself, getting equipped into a new environment. Still getting the schedule, still getting the routine. I'm still getting all of that. So, but people like Miss Shyran keep me going and pushing me every day. Like, you need to be doing this. You need to meet this person. This person, this, da, 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 da. And I got other people doing it as well. You need to meet this person. This person is a legend. Everybody's a legend in their own sense, and that's what I love about Atlanta. It's a lot of people that has Uh, had a lot of success in the past, in the present, different types of success: music, real estate, clubs, discovering people, just a lot of things, and it's just like a melting pot of just talent here, and I just love it.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining the melting pot and making your contributions. Can you tell us what you're up to currently? Like, what are you working on? And
So currently, I'm working on a lot of things. Like I'm still into dance. I host, so that's my main. What I do to make my coins. I host events. People book me all over the place to host. I say the furthest I've been booked was Ghana. I was booking Ghana and Cancun last year.
wow,
And they were also trying to get me in New Zealand, but they, just the money differences and things in different countries, you know, when you get to doing that type of stuff, it gets a little different. So, right now I'm just here, just trying to make my stamp in Atlanta while still keeping all of that type of stuff like ongoing. And also transitioning from just a dancer and host to artist and being respected in that lane as well, and just branching out, bigger people, bigger audiences, and things of that nature. I just got me a new horse, so
wow, congratulations.
so trying to get into the rodeo scenes and things like that. So just using all my talents to the best of my ability.
Okay, and so as you go into this artistry side of things, like how much music do you have right now? And
So currently I have 3 songs out, Backwood Slide, Pop Them Fans, and then Miss Shyran, when I got here, she hooked me up with DJ Taz. So DJ Taz came and did a remix to my first song, Backwood Slide. I like to call it my ATL mix.
Cool.
So that's the most recent one I, put out. But
And
I got
my favorite. It's my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. He actually remixed 2 songs, but that one was her favorite.
Okay.
So just that and a whole bunch of other songs and coming out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you know about when you might release some more music or?
I say within the next month or 2.
Okay. Cool.
Hopefully we'll have an album out by the summer.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. That's exciting. What's the best way to follow you? Is that on Instagram or is there a website or?
Do have Tay Cheesy brand website coming. It's already out, but it's being worked on right now. Facebook is my main platform. Tay Cheesy brand is where you see all the craziness, my hosting. I
Okay.
post on Instagram from time to time, but that's my main squeeze right there. Have a big event coming up this summer, June 14th, my big birthday bash.
Okay.
Boots and Bosses Trail Ride Birthday Bash.
Where's
June
that?
14th. It's going to be in Stockbridge at the barn where I board my horse in.
Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool. That's down my way.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
in
Come
South
on
DeKalb.
up. Come on up.
Okay. Very cool. Is there anything else you want to share?
That's all. It's all about Miss Shyran.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. Well, and I agree. It is.
I'm telling you, it's not all about me. The only thing I did when she came here, I told her when she really came over to my place doing the what got me
snowstorm.
the snowstorm and the ice. 1 week it was ice, the next week it was snow, and the way I even started the tour, the pressure, what is it? Ain't
The
no
No
pressure,
Pressure.
tour. Ain't no pressure tour was because I said that these people would come out to me and support me on when nobody else did. All the artists that came out, I was going to take these artists and I was going to make sure, if nothing else, they became superstars. And that's what I'm doing. That's why she might say she's not involved in all of the stuff, but Syd knows it's just, I know I'm running them ragged with interviews and shows and stuff like that. But like I told her when she first came, I said, the only thing I want you to do for me is to make sure that Atlanta is like quicksand. It will suck you up, and you will never come out of it. And as long as you stay away from the quicksand, when you get to that quicksand and you look down, walk away from it, because this is where people will. And I love Atlanta. I love the people in Atlanta. People have been super, super good to me. But I do know that they will eat you up and spit you out if you let them.
Been avoiding the quicksand for a while.
Me and you both.
Yeah. No, thank you so
know.
much for sharing that. So, Syd, Satellite,
Yes, sir.
how you doing today?
Good. Can't complain. How about you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you so much for being here. So first off, tell us how to find you, your Instagram handle or whatever is your preferred method.
You can find me at Satellite Syd. That's SATELLITESYD. Satellite Syd.
Okay, and is Instagram the best way to follow you, or is there a preferred network?
Instagram, Facebook. That's how you can TikTok and YouTube. That's everywhere. That's how you can find me. Satellite Sid.
Okay. I need to follow you on TikTok before we leave here today.
Yes, sir.
So okay, can you give us a little bit of your history, like what your influences are? Like, are you from Atlanta?
Born and raised Crawford Long,
Okay, and
94.
and in '94.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
yeah. I could tell you're a little bit younger of an artist. That's great. A lot of your whole life ahead of you,
Yes, sir.
and you seem to have some great guidance. So tell us about your influences and what you're trying to accomplish with your music.
Well, like Tay Cheesy said, I'm shocked by what she said because that's basically what she said. That's my life. I'm like, dang. I listen to the same thing, but the crazy thing about it is like my parents, they put me on to like the old R&B, the soulful music. I didn't grow up on rap. To be honest, I didn't even listen to rap. So like the fact that that's something that I do is like shocking to me because I actually sing. So
Okay.
who inspired me? Like she said, Michael Jackson. I love Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, Luther Vandross, Alicia Keys, Chris Brown. Like the list can go on. Like I just love music all around. Different genre too. I can take it to gospel. It don't matter. I just love music.
Okay. Yeah, and that's quite a wide range of influences. And so, tell us, you have some music out, I assume. How much music do you have out there?
Well, I started off in a group, 2016, I believe.
Mhm.
So, I believe we had with that. That was like a mixtape of 12 songs, and then I went solo. Me solo by myself. I think I got over 24 that's actually out.
Okay.
But recorded, that's not out. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother catalog.
You got a lot in the vault.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the group's name? Just so we can.
ARG.
ARG.
American Roulette Gang.
American Roulette Gang. Okay, so in case anybody wants to Google that and check the background.
You can definitely and actually I didn't go by Satellite Sid back then. I was actually Kid the Sid.
Kid the Syd.
Yeah.
But consistently Syd.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you? I saw you this Saturday. You put on a great performance, by the way.
Thank you.
I had a girlfriend of mine who was there with me, and I was filming. You danced right up in the camera, danced right past me, and danced with her for a minute. And I was like, superstar. Like I was impressed with your charisma and your performance. I could understand every word and a lot of energy and a lot of movement. You went all around the club and made sure and connect with every individual in there, and I recognize the value and the currency in that. So great job there. Tell me what else you're working on. Miss Shyran said that she keeps you busy, so tell us what you're cooking on right now.
Miss Shyran, I'm blessed to have you in my life.
Oh.
Because
You're doing an interview. Stop talking about me.
I'm sorry, but it's true. I am blessed because if you didn't keep me busy, I don't know what I would be doing. So I appreciate that. So I am a assistant manager of a car wash.
Okay.
Right down the street from the club.
Okay.
Shyran Showcase. And you want to tell them, Miss Shyran?
You tell them. It's your car wash.
Well, we partner up.
Now I
Shine.
got a car wash, I guess.
Yeah. Soul Shine Car Wash on Covington Highway. If you don't know, please go see us, 5418 Covington Highway. We partner up with Shyran Showcase, and we actually sponsor each other. That's what we are. We're sponsoring each other, right? But we actually partner up, and what we about to do with the car wash scene and the entertainment scene is something that nobody has done. So I'm looking forward to actually doing this.
Something I created.
Okay.
That this is what happened with Syd. I guess I'll talk about it a little bit.
You're going to make me cry.
No, it ain't gonna be good. It'll be bad.
Oh, wait.
I'm gonna tell them the bad part.
Okay,
of it.
tell the bad part.
Okay. When I was sick, I'm gonna tell them from before I was sick. Okay, before I was sick, I used to do podcasts. At that time, they didn't call it a podcast. Podcast came after. I guess I was doing. I had 34, maybe more than that, segments of a YouTube show that they were filming. And I brought in, because I could bring in stars, I would bring in all the celebrities and they would talk about how they got started. And I would also bring in a lot of independent artists so they could see how the celebrities got started. And they would tell the stories. We have like a little round chair, but they would interview it first and then they would take and do a story. But I got sick during that time. Well, I was probably always sick. I didn't even know I was sick, but I found out that I had cancer. And when I found out I had cancer, I canceled the show. But because of, I hate to say this word, who I am, because of what I do, I'm going to use that. Because of what I do, the independent artists and some of the celebrity artists just wouldn't let me stop. So instead of doing the podcast, we would do a celebrity bartender. So all the celebrities would come and be a bartender, and they would perform, and they would pass the torch to an individual. And when they did it with Syd, and all of the rest of them, for some reason, when I got sick, everybody decided that it wasn't going, nothing would happen no more. I guess they thought I was going to pass or something. I don't know what happened, but I just know that they just kind of moved away. Syd stuck by me. And from that time, even during when I was even working and my son was taking care of me, he would go to work. Syd would always be at O'Reilly's and she would take care of everything for me. Not as far as just making sure that I had artists come through, because artists is really the backbone of Shyran Showcase, O'Reilly's. Okay, and she would always make sure that I had artists coming through. We always had shows she always picked the day we had shows, and she just kept it going for a long time. And then when I did come back, I decided, or the public decided, that I'd go back and do it full time. And now she actually handles all of the bookings, all of the artists, everything, all of the flyers. She does everything for me.
Wow.
And that's why I say that, without her. Now I do have my dog over here in the corner, her daughter over there. But Mel too, because Mel is the dance part of it. Mel is, I think she's probably one of the greatest dancers I've seen to be her age. Because she started when she was, 16, 15 or something like that?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, and now what is she?
She'll be 51 in
51.
March.
And she's 51 and she still dance like she's 16 years old. So with Mel keeping me straight with the dancers, and Syd keeping up with the independent artists, and the celebrity artists keeping up with me, it's just been a good mix, I guess.
It's a family.
It is. O'Reilly's is a family. The entertainers, that's why I always tell people it's a small, the entertainment business is extremely cliquey and extremely small. If you get in a clique, which I never get, everybody's my clique, but if you get bogged down with one clique, and she can tell you this, and they get mad with you, then they try to, it's always a hate. This is the hatingest business I've ever seen in my life.
Amen.
I'm serious. I mean, even with Syd, the people that she started with, because she brought people to me, and I look at, now everybody's coming back because we're doing this tour, but I look at how many little cliques that we had, this little clique, and I didn't know they were cliques because I just go with everybody. But I found out after I got sick and was out for a minute that this clique didn't want to be with this clique, and this clique didn't want to be with this clique. And all of a sudden, then nobody, everybody decided that they didn't want to do nothing, and she stuck in it. Because it's like, okay, just like I'll tell you what the cliques are. Just like say that you got 5 artists that are together. Mm-hmm. Then you got these other 5 artists that are together, and you got these other 5. So now I might have had 30 artists.
It's like you got served.
Yeah.
Where's my crew?
Yeah, So then all of a sudden, this clique says, well, Sharon's doing more for this one over here. It's always been like kids, like she's doing more for this one, she's doing more for that one. And I didn't even know that I was doing more for anybody. I thought I was doing the same thing for everybody. Even right now, I've got the same problem. I had a phone call today that said, well, I was doing, why is so-and-so going with you and this one's going, and I'm not going. And I'm thinking, well, I told everybody. And I needed for you to call back and say, okay, fine, I've got different interviews. I'm not going to take everybody down here to this interview. So you got an interview on Monday. I got another one on Tuesday. I got all next week. I got somebody that's going to be interviewing people. Why I can't go with you? I'm going to be at every one of them. But in their mind, it's like I'm doing them first. Mm-hmm. I think this is the first interview I've done about the 4-4 tour. Yeah, this is the first one I've done. So now everybody want to come on this one. And then and plus they saw you too. That made a lot of difference. You know, you were there. So
Well, and I went in there and I felt so just loved and you know I went in there and I'm like I didn't know what to expect. I'm sitting in the parking lot like I'm about to walk in here by myself and just see what's popping. You know what I mean? And I've been everywhere. And I'm like, okay, let's go see. And the way that I was treated at O'Reilly's, the way you walked me in and asked me if I want something to drink, and then Sammy Sam brought me up and shouted me out the way he did. I mean, I felt so loved because I've been a pretty independent person. I kind of moved out of my mom's house at a young age and just kind of stayed to myself. And I like to associate with I'm friends with everybody, but I'm also it's just I don't have a lot of really, really close personal friends. And so when I went in there, I felt like I was in a family. Like I was just like,
and
wow.
see, nobody knew you.
And nobody knew me, but they treated me.
I didn't even know who you were. I just said, that's just the way we do. When people come, and especially in that situation, Fridays and Saturdays is our showcases. I have a low key showcase on, a more mature showcase on Fridays, Saturdays, but the hip hop is on Friday. So you were in a situation where we had all the mature people, and they just gravitate together. It didn't matter who you were. You just happened to be white, but
and that's
and then we did have a few other whites in there too. But I'm just saying, it was like, I don't know, it was almost like, well, maybe he's a rapper, maybe he's this, or maybe he's that, because we did have a lot of producers in there at the same time. But it didn't really matter because everybody is the same thing. You remember I told you the story? I said, I tell everybody this every single Saturday, and she can attest to this. I would get on my stage every Saturday at a certain time and make this statement. When you look in the mirror every morning, when you get up, what do you see? And everybody say VIP. Because that's what you are. If I don't hear everybody say, well, not everybody, because some people don't know what we should do. But basically, then when I say it, then I say it a second time. I say, when you see a VIP, then what else do you see? They'll say celebrity. Then I say, okay, all the people that don't know what we're talking about, I want you to think about it. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? And everybody then all of a sudden says VIP.
VIP.
And that's why you felt comfortable.
I really did. And just for the record, you don't know me very well, but 404 Day that I started in 2012, I started it with rap money. Like I am a rapper, I am a producer, I do all those things, but I just don't lead with that hardly anymore. But that's how everything I did started. I came from this event called Mic Club. There was like a freestyle rap event, and they'd have performances, and you go in there and just similar to you. Like you've told me you would cut an artist off if they're not doing right. In this club, they'll boo you if you're bad, but then tell you this is what you need to do. Get back in there next week. And that was me. I went in there, and at first I wasn't very good at all. And after some weeks of participating, it's like these people are hugging me like, yo, you got it. And I felt very cared for and embraced, and it developed me as an artist. That's why I was saying thank you so much for this space, because we need it. There's the places that once you're on, oh yeah, we're the Bottle Club. We'll pay you to pull up, and then there's the bedroom, but there's what's in between, and that we need these clubs where you can come in, make friends, make family, develop your art, get some good feedback. You might get booed your first time. You're gonna grow. If I guarantee you, if I went in there and performed and you were like, nah, cut this off, I'm gonna go home inspired to be like, I got to do better next time. You know what I mean? And so that incubation that you are creating is just so needed. And I want to ask you, I know there's a laundry list of artists that you've helped grow. You mentioned Outkast.
Oh, right. Did I tell you that?
New Edition, all of Dungeon Family, Jodeci. These were the ones that I'm just recalling from our conversation the other day.
That was off the record.
This never happened. That never happened. That's fine. If there's stuff that's off base, then
you can listen to other people say that on other podcasts. I just, what? I'm gonna say this to you. Like I always say, all of these kids. I'm gonna say this. Everybody seemed to think that I did something for them, and I don't feel that way. I feel like they did something for me. You know, I'm 80 years old right now, and I still have the same energy when I'm around the kids. I could be at home and just can't even go in there and cook for my dogs. You know, I have to fix breakfast in the morning. So I get up in the morning, I fix breakfast for my dogs. My dogs give me energy to fix them breakfast or whatever I fix. And then all my energy go away. And I can go to O'Reilly's. And all of a sudden, I don't know. Showcase was the same way. It always gave me a lot of energy because the kids fed me back. And I guess from the energy that they gave me, I would just say, okay, fine. I always want people to be better than I am. I can't sing, so I want you to sing better than me. It don't take but a little bit for you to sing better than me, but I want you to sing better than what I want to hear. So that's why I was always real strict. You know, I can't dance, you know, so you got to dance better than me. You know, so my little bit of dancing, if I don't see you, I want you to dance like wish I could dance. I want you to rap the way I wish I could rap. I want you to sing the way I wish I could sing. And they gave that to me. You know, your Outkast is your Kilo, Sam and Sam. Every single artist, and I hate to say it just because people everybody know it. So every single artist from Atlanta, starting with Mojo, because he was the first rapper. By the way, he's going to be on my show with you.
Thank you.
From Mojo, then, like you say, Shadi, then maybe, I don't know how to go in the list after that because I just have to name out, you know, Pancho. Maybe he was the first one that I put on her film. I traded radio time. They said, we want you to do commercials on our station. So I said, okay, fine. If I do commercials on your station, because I've been with V103 like forever. If I come to this station and do commercials, then you're going to have to put some Atlanta artists on there. Because they wouldn't let y'all, it's always been this way. They would not let independent artists on radio. They would not let independent artists on a concert. So I created the concert. You know, my artists can't come to your concert, then you can't come to my place to advertise your concert. So I killed all of the concerts. But back then with rappers, I made sure that they had this last rap show, and we didn't support not another rap show until I did the one for the Civic Center for my own people. So it's always been a thing where I wanted to do for my kids, but they always did for me. They gave me the energy. They gave me the, you know, like I said, when I came out the hospital, I really didn't even think I could. I was coming to O'Reilly's when I was sick and didn't even know I was sick. I was coming to O'Reilly's when I knew I was sick. And Jelly came, DJ Jelly. Mm-hmm. I told Jelly, I said, you know, Jelly, they said, I'm just going to let everybody, I don't want nobody to know. He said, Cheryl, you need to let people know. Because when I came in, I was so depressed. I didn't want nobody to know I had cancer. You know how people are with cancer. I didn't want nobody to know nothing about me. And Jelly just happened to be, I don't even know why he came that night. He just happened to be at O'Reilly's. And I walked to him and I said, Jelly, you know, I think I'm going to tell people. He said, because now I feel good. You know, I had got depressed and sick. I wasn't even sick until they told me I had cancer. When they told me, that's when I got sick. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me a lot of energy. And then I looked around O'Reilly's and all of the kids, they grown 50, 40, 50 years, I don't know, but I call them kids. They gave me energy. And then people that found out, when they found out, then they started inboxing me and praying for me and doing all this, and they gave me energy. So it's not what I did for people, it's what they've done for me from day one. I mean, you know, I've been in business in 1978. I've been in business over 50 years.
Thank you so much.
That's a long time.
I feel the same way when you're saying, like, you get energy out of it. And so I totally understand, but you definitely did some things for them, like demanding that the show include your artists, or you're going to throw your own show. I mean, that's huge, and thank you for leveraging your influence.
And I wouldn't advertise unless you let my artists be. When they put the first song was What's Up with Pancho. Okay, then after that they had to start putting all of the other independent artists, because remember now all of these artists, like you talk about. What is it, Outkast, they had another name, 112. They won the contest that I did at the Civic Center. When I told you I put all the kids on the show, 112, they used to be For Your Eyes Only. 911, I forget your mama's group, what is it, the Crowd Pleasers? I mean, every single dance group, every single one of them are out here now, and they do good. Either they're in the same business or they entrepreneurs themselves. Most of the kids, it's discipline. You know, it took discipline for these kids to listen, especially listen to me every week, because I used to raise hell every week. I mean, I was like, I mean, I'm embarrassed myself when I think back on the way I used to do kids when they would come up and perform on my, and they would come in there just as big as I. It's amazing. Like Silk to me was one of the kids, and that's the R&B group Silk, right? Silk was one of those kids I used to fuss at all the time. Kilo, I would just, maybe all of them, all of the entertainers, I would, even when the 69 boys came up, you can talk to the Southern players, all of these 1-5 parts, all of these kids, Ghetto Mafia, all of them went through the same thing that y'all go through with me right now. I just I said, you got to come every week, not every other week. Don't give me no excuse about not coming. Come up here on time. Come up here free, because and when you come free, you got 100 followers. You got 100 followers. Shyran Showcase used to have 2,500 kids every single week. And they would come. And I don't care if I had Boys to Men, if I had Jodeci, I could have the good girls. When those people got on my stage, you know who they would holler for? The independent artists. We want to hear Silk, we want to hear Kilo, we want to hear Sammy Sam, we want to hear Kids Rock. That's who they wanted to hear. And it's amazing because these other artists came out and they just didn't have, I guess I should have done better about, this only thing I think I regret. I had a record company and I did one record on somebody, but I guess I regret that when they came to me and said, Shyran, we want you to manage us, I wouldn't manage them. I just said, well, okay, I'm going to just go out here and everybody had to know about them, because so when you got producers coming in and you got record companies, because then they didn't have independent record companies. Columbia, Epic, what was some of the others? It was, the major record companies, they would come in. Itchabum, all of those record companies. Then you had Luke with 2 Live Crew that come from down in Florida. He would come in and try to, he thought he was stealing the kids, but he didn't know I was just like, y'all do good because I want Luke to see y'all, And then he would take them. Like Shady, I don't know how many of the kids from Shyran Showcase, because a lot of the record companies, the major ones, they thought they were taking them, but they really didn't realize that I was pushing them. Like, what's his name? Keith Sweat. He thought he took Silk. I wanted to sit with him so bad I didn't know what to do, And I would say he thought he took him, because I don't want to say it that way, but I'm just saying that they would see the kids, and the kids would be good,
And they come in thinking it's their idea.
Yeah.
They're like, it's my idea. I'm going to go sign this artist.
Yeah.
You're like, that's all we wanted the whole time.
Yeah, especially because I had just learned from Swift the other day. He's Outkast, Big Boy's DJ now, but he was with Outkast. He was telling me, now he knows more about me than anybody because he was with me from day, like I had a lot of nightclubs, right? Not a lot, but some. And he would have to go from one club to the next club. And he was telling me about Richard Pryor came to Classics. And Richard Pryor, whoever he was with told, because he was doing like mix. Back then you didn't have rap. And he was mixing. And I told him, I said, I want my people on my dance floor until, just let them dance, get hot, sweat so they want to drink, right? And until I raise my hand, you cannot change the format of my music. So Richard Pryor went up to him and said that, and I didn't even know that he did it, but because remember I said nobody's a celebrity, so that means that you're gonna go, you got to be like everybody else. So he got up himself, went up and told my DJ he wanted to hear something or play something, and he told Richard Pryor, he said no. He said, Shyran told me I can't change the music. And Richard Pryor said, well, does she know who I am? He said, well, do you know who she is? And he did not change the music. And later on, he told me, he said, Richard Pryor wanted to hear so-and-so. I said, well, I don't really care, as long as you did what I told you to do. And that's the way the kids would be. They would listen to me. They would, whatever I told them to do, they would listen because they always felt like I knew what I was talking about.
I feel like that.
Well, it wasn't so much that, it's just that I can feel when I'm at my club, and she'll tell you, if I'm in my club and I don't see you bobbing, and dancing, and I got a sorry DJ up there, and then everybody look at me like, well, Shyran, do you know he ain't playing right? You ain't got to tell me, give me the mic. Excuse me, anybody in here know how to DJ besides the sorry DJ I got up here? Oh yeah, Shyran, I got it. Oh yeah, Shyran, I got it. I'm serious because I control what I do, but people control what I do too. they control me and I control whatever the environment is. Am I making sense?
It's making so much sense.
It's like
It's a give and take,
It-
right?
it
it's
really
you in the
is.
crowd, and you're reading the crowd, and the crowd's respecting
Are
you.
you up there trying, say, oh, yeah, I'm doing a show. Like I do my show.
Yeah,
Somebody
this
rep.
one artist, we don't even know where he came from. He just came in there for the one open mic, and the way he started off, it was so horrible, right?
Mhm.
And she stopped him. I knew she was gonna stop him, and she was like, You need to put some energy in this. Da, 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 da. So she made him do it again. And the second time he did again, I ain't gonna even lie, look like he was so ready, like rock star. And I was like, okay, a lot more people need to come in here and get this artist development, because if you can do something that fast, in
He
5
did. It
minutes-
just like that. This crowd just started screaming and hollering. I was just shocked. I had one artist came in, and he don't sing, but he has got this really good Atlanta song, right? And so he came in, he was looking like, I thought he was one of the homeless, because my place is kind of like a lot of homeless people stay like behind it, right? So he came in, and all of the artists, and I think that was the night that Bone Crusher was, him and his wife was in there. So Bone Crusher was looking at it, I was looking at him. And everybody, we had about 25 artists in that performing. And so when he walked in, he came over to me, he said, Miss Shyran, I want to do my song. And so I looked at him, and everybody looked at me and they said, I know you're not finna let him perform. I said, well, I'm not that way. So if he want to sing, I'm gonna let him sing. That boy got up there, and that's right now. If you look at a lot of my YouTube, his song is the first song you hear. That song was so good, and he was so good. And then after that, guess what he told me? He said, my family know your family when you lived in Joyland.
Wow.
I was raised in Joyland. I did not. He was one of the kids from one of my best friends. Like kids grow up together and went to high school together. He was one of the kids that went. One of my friends that went to high school with me. And had I not given him that chance, then he would have. That song is. I mean, even the mayor. Even downtown, I sent it to the mayor's office. I sent it to Michael. Michael Bond. Michael, but all of those people, I sent it to all, and that was one of the theme songs that they were using. That
Wow.
song is just that good.
Just
Just that one time when I decided I'm gonna not listen to nobody, and I'm gonna follow my own mind and say, okay, fine, I don't care how he looked. I mean, he just really did look. It wasn't so much. Yeah, he did look. But it was, he it didn't even have no teeth in his mouth, and that said, I can understand that because I don't have no teeth either, so I could feel, but at least he should have put something on. And it was just pitiful. He was just, and he walked in there, and I promise you, I took him down to the, I even let him do New Monday Mondays, and they loved the song. I don't know, sometimes you just don't never know about people.
Right.
And that's my testament of stories of one person out of all the people I've helped in life. I think that's the one person I think I can give myself credit for.
That's the one.
That's the one. Everybody else they helped me. They say I helped them, but I don't care. But that one right there, I did. I crossed the line.
Well, it sounds like you have a really good relationship with being honest.
Yeah, that was terrible what I just said, wasn't it?
No, not at all. That was great. It's
Beautiful.
it's a very interesting story.
That's why I don't like to talk. You have to ask. I'm not saying nothing else. You have to ask me what else you want to ask me.
Well,
Man,
you
No,
told
answer
me off the record. We started pretty. You shared with me that you did the first talent show with Monica Kaufman, who's just a household name, from a long time ago, and started there.
And see now, but see that's funny because that's when I had Shyran Showcase. No, I had Sharon's Jewelry. I had a jewelry store.
Okay.
And the kids would come and perform. My son was, be honest with you, I'm telling you how it really is. You got time for this little bit, it's a quick story, okay?
Cool.
I used to have 3 jewelry stores, one on Glenwood and one on Moreland. I'm going to tell you about that before I get to Boulder Crest. So the one on Moreland. So when we went to Moreland, we were right across from J.C. Penney's. And right next to J.C. Penney's in this little walkway was a record shop. I came in because I was in the jewelry business. So I came in with jewelry, okay? Now, I'm selling jewelry. You're supposed to sell records. You ain't supposed to sell jewelry because you weren't selling jewelry before I got here. But because my place would have like a line, If you remember that, they would have a little line outside, like you were at a nightclub. You know how you be waiting at a nightclub, and my thing was like a square. So I would have the line outside of the jewelry store, and they would come in, come around this way, and they would buy $1 jewelry. And I would have 3 or 4 kids. I always had kids working for me, so the kids would be in the back putting trays. They put it on this black felt. So when you put it on black felt, gold looks expensive. Silver, everything looks expensive, right? So I would have them lining up on these little black trays. They would be coming out, putting out a tray, everybody going around. I mean, it was just like, I can't even, you would have to have been there to see this. All right, so anyway, he decided, and then plus my jewelry, they came every week because it was, I would get, back in that day, a Jewish guy told me, he said, Shyran, if you get $1 for everything you do, you'll be a millionaire one day. So, okay, fine. He would say, I would get, for 25 cents, I would get 12, a dozen necklaces, right? So for $1 now, I got four dozen necklaces. Now, I had all of this jewelry, but I would put it out, and I knew it was going to turn. So if it rained, I would make them put it in a bag and take it out. But if it didn't rain, they could wear it out because I know it wouldn't get wet because if you sweat on it. So that means that every week they had to come back. Because back then, that's when everybody was going out to nightclubs. So they would come back the next week, come back. So I had repeat business. You know, I was like a McDonald's, you know. You just get a hamburger, you want another hamburger. You see the McDonald's sign, you go get another hamburger.
Yeah.
So anyway, the guy with the jewelry decided he wanted to sell records. With the records, he wanted to sell jewelry. Now, my son was about 9 or 10 back then, right? So he was about 9 or 10 years old. I knew nothing about music. Didn't care about music at all, you know. I was like, y'all, I had old school. My mama, I grew up with R&B and stuff. So they would come over, and then it was disco time then, so he started selling jewelry. So it's evil as I am when it comes to competition. And anybody in the city would tell you I am that way. I ain't even ashamed. You know, I want to be number one. I don't care. If I decide that I'm going to be free to open up, and then you decide, I say free to midnight, then you're going to come right behind me and you're going to be free to midnight. Then I'm going to be free to midnight and give you a free drink. Now, can you afford to give somebody a free drink and have free? But the reason I can do it is because I'm not looking for this big buck. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you're motivated.
So, and I know I'm going to last longer than you doing your open to free to 12 o'clock because you're depending on your door. I'm not depending on my door. I just want to pay my bills and pay my employees. I go a month paying bills and paying employees before I let you say that you're number one. So that's the way I am even to today. So back then, when he said he was going to sell jewelry, I decided after we paid 25 cents for a 45 record. Mm-hmm. It cost you 25 cents, but you sell it for $1. So he was selling his records for like $1. I would sell my records for 24 cents. I would lose a penny for every record that I sold until he decided, oh, I know what she's doing. She's not, because he was in the real record business. You know, I ain't in no record business. So he came up to me one day. He said, well, why did you sell your records for 24 cents? Well, you know it costs 25 cents and blah, 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 blah. And you should be making money on your records. I said, I don't want to make money on records. What I want to do is I want you to stop selling jewelry. So you know what he did? He brought all his jewelry over there to me and said, can I wholesale this to you? I give you my receipts on what I paid for it. I said, no, because you paid too much for it, because I don't get my jewelry like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the money that I paid for what I paid for my jewelry, and give me my jewelry, you can keep your records. But in the meantime, the record business was a good business. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't realize it was that good. So when I got my third jewelry store, I didn't mess with him no more. But when I got my third business up at Boulder Crest, I put a whole section back there for Eddie. He sold candy, and he sold bubble gum, and he sold records. And he counted his records, and he counted his. Sometimes I would chew a piece of bubble gum. If Eddie left 200 pieces of bubble gum, he came in there, and I might have sold 5 pieces, and he was missing 6 pieces. I would have to pay him for his bubble gum. That's just how he is right now. To this day, he's that way.
Where did he learn that from?
Not from me, that's for sure, because I'm frugalist. I give away everything. I don't even care about money. Even when I make money, he counted. You know, it don't really. Back then, I didn't even care.
You need that balance in your life.
Yeah, I have no balance in my life. No balance whatsoever. And that's because of y'all, the kids. You know, they always, except for when they would come to Shyran Show. Because this was discipline. If you were in Shyran, a line would be around the building, right, for people to come in. I don't put 2,500 people until I built another side. But at first, it was only 2,500 you could have. So the line would be around the building. When somebody came out, you could go in. And then you come to me and say, well, Miss Shyran, I ain't got but $9.99. I said, well, until you get another penny, you need to get out the line and go home and save your penny next week and come back the next week. Now, I am that way. When the discipline with kids and money, I am. I'm that way with you, too. Yeah, I am. With anybody, circle small, I might not be good with money, but I'm surely good with money. Even with my son, I've always been real disciplined with them with money. So anyway, let me tell you about the story. So anyway, how the showcase started. So they came up to the showcase, and they would come in. He would be in school. They would say, we want to buy ABC record, right? I was saying, I don't know what the record is, high sound. So they put on, they sing it, or they would dance, or I play a song, they would dance. And I looked at them, I said, dog, y'all look, I enjoy, remember I said I wanted to know how to sing? So they were singing really good, they were dancing really good, and I would be like, oh, shoot, I'm going to have me a little, long as it was a gift shop and a jewelry store. Long as you don't knock over my gifts and break nothing, and you don't, try to steal my jewelry, I'm going to give y'all this area back here and let y'all perform. And Eddie would come home and he would play the records. Then it got so big, we put it out in the parking lot. I met my brother was the DJ out in front of the jewelry store. So all the kids, by this time you got Cedar Grove, you got Walker High School, you got Columbia High School, you got everybody coming up want to be singing and dancing. Wasn't no talent show, just singing and dancing. Then I said, well, okay, fine, you don't dance as well as this person. You don't sing as well as this person. So then I came up with this rule. You got to come every week. You got to perform, especially in the summer. They would come in my place at 9 o'clock in the morning. They would leave at 6 o'clock, and they would practice all day long. Then I thought, well, dog, all y'all look good. I'm going to do a talent show. Nobody would let me find a place. So I went to the high school. I said, what I'll do, if you let me put a talent show at Walker High School, I will let you have the money. Not knowing how much money it was going to be, right? I did the talent show, and Monica Kaufman had just come to Atlanta to be on Channel 2. Yeah, she was on Channel 2. And I reached out to Channel 2. I don't know even why she did it for me, Look at people be doing stuff or something. So I really don't. I can ask somebody to do something, they just do it for me. So I asked her, and it was some 2 or 3 other judges. I can't remember who they were. I just remember her. And so she was one of the judges, and they did the talent show. Then I decided, well, maybe y'all need to have y'all's own building. So that's how Shyran Showcase got. Because I wanted to do it all. I wanted them to practice every day. I wanted them to perform every week. And I couldn't do that with Walker High School. You can't just go and do a talent show at a school every week. So that's how Shyran Showcase got started. I went and found it was a little old building behind the second showcase. The one that people talk to you about. Everybody think it started in the 90s, right? With all the rappers and stuff and all the celebrity artists that you got now. But it didn't. It started in 1982 with Mojo and Syd and, New Edition people, I just can't name all of them, but it started in 82 with the one that I had, this little 10 building, like a cop. You see these big old buildings, the 10 buildings. Mm-hmm. And that's where every day I made them come there and practice. And the parents, I was a free nursery school because my age had started from like 8, 9, 10 years old. I had a computer class. I made them learn the computer. And this is back when they didn't even have computers for people. I had the little laptops. Because my ex-husband worked for AT&T. What is it?
Apple?
Not Apple.
AOL.
No. IBM. Okay, it was IBM. Okay, yeah, there was. So he gave, so I got a bunch of I had about 10 computers. I made everybody learn how to use a computer. Everybody learn how to type. And I would let them, because they wanted to sing and dance, but they had to do that first. They had to read the newspaper. They had to do that. I had a karate school on the other side. They had to learn karate. I had a modeling school, so the girls had to learn how to walk. And then, by the evening, they would come up and they would dance and sing.
Wow.
That's where it started. Then when I got chairmanship, so by the time I moved in 1990 to the one on Gresham Road, everybody was already a star, Shady and them would be, that's when Mel and them with the dancers came and her mama with all of the different dance groups and stuff. And then that's when I made them, they competed, right, most of the time.
My mom?
Yeah, I think. But they competed in their own head. Everybody but then I started to say, okay, fine, I'm going to start doing trophies. Then I started giving out big trophies And one thing, it was just elevated, to what they are now.
And it sounds like it happened so naturally, like you didn't plan on doing this.
No,
It
I
just
didn't
kinda
plan on. I
came to
promise you, I was in the jury business. Okay, I used to own a telephone company. The first black telephone company in Atlanta was called Advanced Logic, and that's because he was with IT. What is it, IBM? Then he went to Bell South. He was working for Bell South. He was a salesperson for Bell South, and he knew that they were finna break up Bell South and AT&T. And we applied for the license for a telephone business.
Wow.
And then my first big sale was to Bronco. And he even Bronco did a seminar for me. I mean, God has blessed me. You know, I just been really blessed.
Do you feel like you operate on a lot of faith?
I operate on all faith.
I
If
get
I'm
that
in my
feeling.
kitchen and something is happening in the front, when I walk and I know I'm not on my way to the front of my club, I walk up there and something is happening because God took me to that point. If I ask for something, just like this show that we're doing, there's nowhere in the world I should be doing this show in September. But it's a God thing. God has, even when I tell the kids, I say, I'm not going to preach God to people because people have different religions. You got Muslims, you got Buddhists, and I've been to all of the countries, so I know the difference in the religions. But I believe that your higher power, that's what I learned that because my partner used to be alcoholic, and he went to AA, and I followed him to AA for 10 years straight, like I was an alcoholic. And I listened to the different alcoholics and their stories. So they use the word higher power. I use the word God. Somebody else might use whatever they use. But I say, if you believe, I don't preach this to people, but I say, if you believe and you ask for it, and you put it out there in the universe, you'll get it. Now, I have learned one thing about asking for stuff. You can ask for something and say, okay, fine, I might want to have a relationship with this person, right? Now, if I don't say I don't want to drink, smoke, not have a job, and have a car, he might give me anybody, because I done had 2 anybody's. So, you know what I'm saying? So now when I ask God for something, I make a list and say, okay, fine, all the way down. I said, this is what I want. Because he will give you what you ask for. Good, bad, and if you ask for something, you don't make sure everything is supposed to be in that, it'll be right there for you. People that say, well, the devil, it ain't got nothing to do with the devil. You just didn't ask for it right. The devil didn't come in to do it. You say, okay, fine, I want a car. And then the car ain't got no wheels, The car did not have no wheels because the devil didn't want you to drive. The car didn't have no wheels because you didn't ask God of your higher power for the right thing. You want a car with wheels, a motor, and the one that's going to drive. I got Nelly Bell right now. I got a Mercedes I don't ever drive. But my Nelly Bell still run. People talk about me like a dog. They say, Chef, why you don't drive this car? Nelly Bell I drive because I said to God, I want to ride it. I want to drive Nelly Bell until, you take me someplace other than my house. And Nelly Bell been there with me.
And that's the car.
Yeah, that's the car. Eddie keep having to fix, but she's still
Still there.
she still roll.
Let's talk about the event in September. Is that the awards show, or tell me about that?
I'm scared to talk about that too much.
That's okay. That's okay. I want to bring as much light to it as I can and put
I
some
know,
support
but
behind it.
until it's just really, why I said you ask.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm on line 1, 2, 3, and 4. I got a few more lines to ask God for, so I'm gonna just kind of let that roll. But it isn't. It's called the 4 the Ain't No Pressure Tour,
Ain't No Pressure Tour.
and it's coming from, and it was born out of what I did for the ice and the snowstorm, and the people that supported me. That's where it's coming from, and the independent artists that will be able to perform in front of all of the kids we just talked about at Shyran Showcase, the celebrity people. They're getting awards. And it's my legendary award. It's not just a legendary award because you're a legend. It's because it's what I think that you did for me coming up through Shyran Showcase. And now with the independent artists coming, now won't be all of them because all of them not going to put in the work. You have to work hard to be a celebrity, to me. So all of them not going to be on it, but that's what it's for. And like I say, I haven't finished asking for it. Because I know every time I do something, then God is okay, fine. Just take her for instance. We were talking this morning about, I've sent a flyer in. Remember, I told you I sent this flyer in to the lady that that's going to do Eventbrite for me. And she sent me back and said, okay, but you can't do a flyer. You got to do a banner. Now, we do flyers. So I ain't no use me asking Syd to do no banner, because that ain't what we do. And I just happened to be talking to her, and she said, what you say? I got somebody to do banners and do flyers. So that's what I'm saying. The thing just happened, you know. And I just believe it was God's. Because first of all, we wasn't even talking about that. I don't even know what we were talking about. Something else.
I think I brought the subject up.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That I wasn't supposed to be talking about no flyer. But because we talked this morning, and then we don't talk every morning, so I don't even know why we were talking this. I can't remember what we started about. I just know that in between this conversation, God has said, okay, fine, I'm going to let her tell you about what you needed. Because the lady had sent me the email this morning. She called me right after she sent me the email. And then during our conversation, she talked about the guy with the flyer.
Done deal.
I said it was a girl, but she said it's a guy. But anyway, whoever it was, I just said, so what is that? That's like God's thing.
Yeah.
And I believe that in this city, come September the 6th, it's going to be history made all over again. They claim Shyran Showcase is an icon, and they said that the different things I've done. But to me, in this city, if everybody has been saying, okay, if everybody do like they said they're going to do come September the 6th, it's going to be the new birth of another era in the history of entertainment in Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow. That's so exciting. Can you share the location or where we
Oh,
can
yeah, it's
follow
going to be
you?
Atlanta. Thank you. Okay, I always say it wrong. Lonzell.
Oh, the Lotzell.
Yeah, Lonzell's
Wow.
Performing Arts.
This is
Performing theater. For the arts theater or something.
Lotzell. Yeah, I mean, they focus on soul music.
Yeah.
My day job, I work for this soul singer, Ruby Bell, of Ruby Bell and the Soul Phonics, and they're celebrating 20 years of their band, and they've been, actually did the last 7 weeks, they had a series here in Atlanta, and their next thing they're trying to do is the Lotzell. So I wonder if there's some synergy, something that was, just like you said, you ended up in this conversation earlier that just landed with what you were looking for. I wonder if there's some kind of way that, one, I want to help as much as I can with that. Any of our sponsors or supporters or my social media, I want to support your event there, and then maybe
They've been really good. They played the girl that Kimberly, her name is Kimberly, and Lonzell itself. And that was even like a godsend to me because Puncho kept telling me he wanted me to go to this place, and I kept saying, no. So then I found out the amount of money that it cost to do the show there. And so I called him that morning. Now, Puncho been with me like since he was a kid. I called him morning. I said, Puncho, why would you ask me to try to go and see a place that you know I can't afford to be in? And it's going to cost too much, blah, 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 blah. So he said, so then he pulled me down, called me down and said, look, he called me Mom. He said, Mom, let me tell you something. I'm going to say to you what you've been telling us all the time, and you always get up in front of us saying all this stuff, right? I'm going to say exactly to you what you said to me. And when he got through with me, it was like, okay, I'll be over there tomorrow. Because I really was going to not go. Because we were going to do the Peachtree something, and it was Center Stage, and I was going to Peachtree. Because everybody had named all these other places. I was even going to go back to the Rialto all this time, but he kept pushing me, and I said, okay. Then I said, let me call this boy and ask him how much this place is going to cost. And when he told me, I said, oh, are you serious? I am not going there. And he said, let me tell you, Mom, I'm tell you what you told us. So he told me all this stuff that I would say to the church. And I thought, I was about to cry. I said, do I be sounding like that when I talk to you? He said, yes. So I said, okay, fine, I'm going over there tomorrow. So I went over there in my mind saying, I'm just doing this for Puncho because I'm not going to do it. I met the owner. When he got through talking to me about it, he said he had heard, he's from Chicago, he had heard about me and blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, so it don't really matter. You're still going to charge me X amount of dollars. So we walked around, the video that I took, I walked around, let him walk me around. I played the little game, we walked around, videotaping everything. Came out, put it on the internet. And Lonzell came to me, he said, I'm going to work with you. I thought, yeah, right. So, and they are. But it was fun at the time. You know how you just got this negativeness, and you said, okay, no, this ain't, but I said, okay, fine. So I walked around. Why I did this, I have never done this. I walked around and videotaped it. Then Puncher said, Shyran, come out front. I want to do the side. I want to videotape you. So I said, okay, fine. Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't you walk? Let me see how videotape me walking because I had seen this saddle. I said, well, let me videotape me walking in here. He said, well, you got to say something. And I said, okay, I'll talk. So I talked a little bit about it and went around. While we were sitting there waiting for Lonzel to come back to sit down, I took and put all of that on the internet, put the picture of the thing on the internet. And by the time I got home, I had so many people calling me up about that place. And that was, now you know that to me was a godsend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I decided that no matter how much it costs or what I got to do, because this is what they want to see. Because a lot of times people don't get an opportunity to do things, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, fine. I'm just going to do it. And I called Kimberly back, and I called Poncho back. I said, Poncho, tell her to send me the contract. And he said, well, you got to fill out these answers and blah, 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 blah. I said, well, I'm not doing all that. Then I got mad again. I said, no, I'm not going to do all that because why do I do this, and this, and this? He said, Miss Shyran, just, do it. I said, okay, fine. Have her send me the thing. So she didn't send me the contract. And then when she sent me the contract, I'm so illiterate when it comes to computers and typing in stuff like that, it wouldn't go through. So I said, bump it. It ain't meant for me to have the place. So then she called me up. She said, did you send the paper back? I said, no, because the computer not working. She said, well, why don't you just come over here? So then I got Eddie to take me over there the next day. And I did the paperwork. And that's when I met Kimberly, because I didn't know I didn't know her. When I met her face to face, and then she starts, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do this for you. You got to do this, and this. I said, I don't know how to do this. Yeah. She said, well, we're going to do this. And that's it. And now she's almost like on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually works for the people. She actually is his person, but they putting it together,
Well, and I think when you bring this energy to the table that you're like, you're talking about what you get out of the situation. Like instead of seeing like what I've done for all these people, you keep saying what they've done for you.
Because they're doing it for me, I'm telling you.
And you're
really
habitually grateful. And I think when I'm around people who have that attitude, I'm really likely I want to help. Just like when I met you, I'm like, whatever I can, if you ask me about being on 404 Day, I'm like, tell me what you want to do. I'm going to do my best to say yes, because I just get a vibe off of you of like, I don't feel like I'm dealing with somebody who's selfish. Or,
Well, I didn't really think I was going to be at Pete My Part, that's for sure.
Well,
But I am.
You
I'm
are.
Grateful. I am grateful. I am. I tell you, people be thinking that I don't. I am so grateful for everything. I mean, for my kids to be up on that stage in front of all those people, and they haven't performed anywhere but at O'Reilly's. Are you serious? I think that's like really, that's something for them, and they feel good about it, And on top of that, when we talked about sponsors, then you said you had a sponsor. I'm thinking to myself, how is he telling me about a sponsor? But in my mind, it was like, I never thought about asking for a Patron sponsor or, Coca-Cola or whatever it is y'all get. I just don't think about doing that. I just think I have to do it all by myself. And then that's when I get worried and think, well, how is it going to happen? And then God has said, well, I got somebody over here that can do that. I got somebody over here that can do that. Just like when she said she didn't know about the hosting, I just want to put it in a position where if she wants to do it, then she can do it. If she don't want to do it, at least I put it there.
Mm-hmm.
If I've got let's say Julio, he wanted to be on his Woodstock. Remember what is Wood Creek? Now you know what I care about. Certain things, especially when it has to be money involved. And I talked sent me a thing today and said, well, Julio gonna be on the show at Wood Creek. Who else do you want to put on that show? And I'm thinking, nobody. Because I got him doing so much, and the first show, so he's doing 3 shows. He's doing the, your big show at the Piedmont. Somebody else wants us to do the parade, which I'm not going to do. And then we got the one at St. Tony right after that. So that means that Wolf Creek is the one that I really started with wanting to do. It's in the middle, and I'm not even having to do it because I don't really I got too much going on to do it. And they're happy. All of the kids are happy. And now he's happy because I ain't got to try to come up, because I wasn't coming up with no money no way, but $1,000 is $1,000. So he don't have to come up with that because he's going to put him on the show. So, things just fall in place, I guess. I don't know. Don't ask me.
Well, it's obviously you're letting it work. You're letting things fall into place. I think.
This thing for the 404 day to me, and I've never even participated in, so I don't even know why I'm so excited about this. You know, people talk about the one at Piedmont Park. I didn't even know it was existing. I didn't know nothing about the parade. I didn't know nothing about none of there's only reason I know about what is Stankonia is because I'm real close to Big X, because he started the Shyran Showcase too, and look at what he has done with the artist, man. You know, he just 18 years. I went to his anniversary. 18 years, and this boy was a DJ. And I think we didn't even let him GD at first, did we? Because he wasn't even no good. He wasn't no good DJ.
And that makes you good. Now he's really good.
He is great. Yeah, he is. I mean, he's got a thing he's doing down at a place in Buckhead on Tuesdays. I went down after that. It's almost like a jazz. You know how people the jazz jams, but it's a DJ jam.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then he's got this thing going. They got about I don't know how many coalitions all over the country now, and I mean it's really. I mean, he just went from. He swear, listen. Okay, this is what they say. I did things that I didn't know I was doing, like promotions. People can promote and market and do things from what they thought I did, right? So that's how they learned all of the system. So now he thinks that, or he says, well, he thinks it anyway, but maybe he said it. He always said, but that he got to this point because of what he saw me do. But when I look at what he's done, it's amazing to me. I could never do that. You know, and you're a part of it, so you know what I'm talking about. Well, that coalition DJs, I just think that's just the best thing that ever happened to DJs.
I was at the Tuesday night at Smith Soul Bar the last 7 weeks, aligning with Big X. That's where we met in person the first time. We were friends online, but I was doing the thing with the band, with Ruby Vell in the other room. So that's just another one of those natural alignments that I met Big X. I'm seeing him there every week. We're chatting, and then we actually talked yesterday, and he's going to put together something, I think, for the evening time on 404 Day that will have some artists showcased, and maybe we can align there too. Or maybe we can do something at O'Reilly's or do all of it. You know, there's no limit to what we can do. I've had up to 10 events going on at the same time, and when they all kind of have their own value and their own draw, they can all work, and it proves that we don't have to be in competition. We can collaborate, and everybody can.
I think it's because now it's becoming a family. You know, even when I started going down to New Mondays, and I went down there, I don't know why I did. I did it for Syd and them, you and 3 other artists. I don't know what made me do it, but when I went down, because I didn't even. I think somebody told me about it, and then they tell me to say that Big X, and say I know Big X, right? Cause he one of the kids. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, if it's Big X, let me call Big X and ask him. But when he told me that, I think they pay some X amount of dollars to be on, I thought to myself, now I got 5 artists, and I ain't doing, this ain't it for me. So I said, well, let me do this, Big X. Let me ask you to come over to O'Reilly's and see what I got. And then you tell me whether or not I can just do it. He said, Shyran, I ain't got to come see nothing. You want them on now? I did it. And I made them practice and practice. I said, y'all are not going to embarrass me on that show. And when he got up there, you should have seen him. Rick, I was so impressed. And when you know how they go around with the mic and say stuff by everybody, they didn't have nothing to say. But good things about my artists.
They're developed.
But I was, because I asked, you know how you ask for something, then somebody said, okay, fine, you can do it. See, if you pay somebody to do something, they don't really care how you look. But I always say big, and they swear I don't be big, but I swear I be big. But when I ask you to let me do something, and then I want them, and then they come up there and look bad, then I look bad, and I won't ever be able to do nothing again with nobody. So I told them, I said, y'all gonna they practice and practice and practice. And we picked a Monday, and when we went down there, I like showed out. What's his name? Easy showed out. Be Easy. Smokey DB. Now that was a kid that one I hate to, I don't really want to talk too much about him, but when Smokey DB, he was really when we were doing the round table, he was really bad. He was smoking, you know. He had his little boy on one arm and the other little boy on the other arm, and then he was cursing, you know, and just off the chain. And I told him, I said, okay, fam, you can't be with my group. You know, you're out of here. And he had a decent record. It was kind of decent, but I didn't really care. I just said, you out of here. That boy came every week that we had our show. I told you I did 35 shows, right? He came every single week to my shows. Now, he was another one that stuck with Syd, though, and I said, no, you can't get up there, you can't get up there, you can't get up there. And one week, he just came up to me and said, Miss Shyran, if you just try me. I said, okay, I'm going to try it. He got up on stage, and then he rolled this great, big old, thick blunt. I said, are you serious? On my camera? I was so mad, I erased all of the tape and made everybody go in there and do everything all over again and cut so I could cut him out. And then the cameraman said, Shyran, you don't have to do all that. All you got to do is we'll just edit, you know. You know, because we don't want to do all this. He said, we just edit it. So I said, well, cut him out. So I said, no, that was like, so he came again. He said, Miss Shyran, just please, Mom, please, just let me do it one time. I said, he got up there. And I said, okay. And he performed. And he showed out. He had been watching and practicing. Because the first time he did, he wasn't doing nothing anyway. You know, he wasn't no good. He got there, he showed everybody at the O'Reilly's. When I would do it on Fridays and Saturdays, I let him come perform. Everybody, that song was like a #1 song. And they still play it all the time. And then the day before, he came to me. He said, it was on a Thursday. He came to me that evening at O'Reilly's. He said, Shyran, or Mom, whatever you call me. I said, I'm doing something Friday, but I know that you got something else to do, and I don't want you to, you know, give up. Because they give where they start making money. And once I get them where they making money, I don't want them coming back to me free. So I said, I'm doing something this Friday. I said, but you don't have to come because I already saw on Instagram that you're going to be doing something somewhere else, and I know you're getting paid for it. He said, no, I'm going to come back here. He said, if nothing else, I'm going to come. I will be here Friday. I said, okay. Friday morning, I got a phone call. He got killed in an accident. Friday at midday, they called me and said they wanted to have a balloon thing. I said, how in the world you have a balloon? The man, they even out the house, you know, they even got him in the morgue yet. And they were talking about doing a balloon thing for me, right? That Friday night, I said, okay, fine. If y'all want to do it, fine. I don't even care. Because who going to know about it? Anybody. The parking lot was full. They had all these little light candles out there. And everybody came in and they did a tribute to him on the next day after he came in and said, I'm going to be there no matter what on Friday with this picture up there. And you could feel him in that room.
We were supposed to have a meeting the next day.
Next day.
We was on tour together.
Yeah. And so that's one, those are stories that I can look back and say, when people like you say, what have you done? What I've done is I've allowed people to get to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I never would, but when he told me, he said, well, I'm going to be there. I'm thinking to myself, no, I don't want you to come. I don't want you to come. I want you to just go make some money. But he was there, but he wasn't, but he was in spirit. And you could feel him in there. Because I think it's some kind of way the balloons, okay, the song played. It's like when we came in, I don't know how the song played because we wasn't nobody even in there to play the song. I swear to God, I'm not swear to God because I don't swear. But you know, it was funny. But his song played some kind of way.
His energy was heavy.
It was
crazy because it was somebody in there that had locks, right? You know how he always wear a jersey. And every time I look, I said, let me get out of here because that's who I kept. I'm thinking he coming through the door because that's how he same time every night come through the door, and that's who we was looking for. So
yeah, it was.
But the song played, and there was somebody who looked.
I don't know how come the song played.
I don't even know who DJ'd that night.
I don't either. I don't know how to. Cause it looked like everybody was outside. Was outside.
Yeah, we was.
It was outside.
Yeah, we was.
But when we walked through the door,
was it KB?
No, but KB.
No, KB.
So I don't know whether it was on it. I don't know how it played. I just know that when you walked in, his song was playing.
Came on.
That was it. And everybody, you can tell, they got a million stories about that.
We did a balloon release, right? Now, this was I ain't never seen no balloon release and no balloons go up. All the balloons went straight to the ground, right? Mm. And then at the end of the club, when I was leaving the club,
the balloon went up.
One balloon went up.
Well, Sure did.
Just one. That was the one.
That was the one. Just one of them.
See, that did it for me. I said, yeah. He was here. He was
It did. When we went out, when we closed the club, that's when it went up. Cause we couldn't figure it out. You know, they was just like, it was like
all the balloons
blooms
just
just
on the ground.
And you know, we didn't nobody want to make no joke about, well, you know, maybe he wasn't going up. We just didn't say nothing. Nobody said
No,
nothing.
we all was just like, what's going on? Have y'all seen the light balloons going?
That was the funniest. That was the weirdest day of my life, I think. And then I'm telling you, when the club closed, it was a hard balloon that went up. Just up by itself, by itself, just up with it. And with the little string was just saying, everybody was just, what is, you know, and the balloons were still down there, and that one balloon was up. We had like candles on the
He
thing.
went across the street to the gas station where he go get his beer.
I know all that.
And I was like, oh, there he go. He finna go get his, what he drink, a 211 or a reserve, whatever he used to drink. But, yeah, that was...
And people, that ain't just me and Syd saying. You ask anybody that was there. Anybody that would tell that story, they'll tell you. They will. So, you know, so we've had some really good moments, and we've had some sad moments. I've had people, you know, have a heart attack in my place twice. One in one of my big places, and she said, I was at one of my other places, and I was supposed to be over there for her birthday party. And I called over there. I said, tell her I can't get there because, you know, I don't know, something was happening at the showcase. I think something was at the showcase. That's why I want there. And when I got back over to my place, she had fell out. But when she was on the phone with me, when I called to tell her to come to the telephone, I told her, I said, you know what, I'm sorry I can't make your birthday party. Because she was a regular customer, played pool every single day. I was open 7 days a week, and she was in there 7 days a week. And she said, that's okay, Shyran. She said, I love you. I said, well, happy birthday. And she said, okay, I'll see you when I get here. When I got there, they had taken her to the hospital. And she had one shoe. I still got the shoe. She had left a shoe at the bar. It was a class right over here in Black Creek Village. She had left that shoe in there. And I felt so bad. And I think they took the tubes out of her about 3-4 days after she went, you know, because she had aneurysm. So I had one girl that just stood up, and I thought they were saving her, and she wasn't even being saved. So I've had good and bad happen, but every time it's been somebody bad, or something that's bad happen, or the repasses that I've had at my place from different kids that have gone, I've always said that it was just meant for me to be a part of it. You know, so that's my happiness and that's my sadness.
Can we
end this?
Well, I want to. Let's try to end on an up note. Can you give me a interesting, funny story? Well, okay.
When it rise up, it's because the kids upped me with it. You know, I mean, it was her happy birthday. It was his time telling me that, you know, it's okay, I'm gonna be there. I mean, all of this is nothing. None of this is sad. It's because it's happy. I'm happy. You know, it could have happened, and I wouldn't have. He wouldn't have said. It made me feel good about how I did with him being strong, you know, you know, so all this is up for me.
Well, and thank you so much for sharing. Could you maybe give us one more short story about an artist you were really proud of that you saw start here and get to where they're going? No. No?
Are you serious? Somebody hit this on the interview, on the podcast, or whoever this is going to be broadcast. You want me to name one person?
Oh, right. Too many people feel left out.
Oh.
Interesting.
Everybody.
Everybody
always ask me that. Why do y'all ask me that? Y'all know? No.
Okay. No, I understand. I did hand out some awards sometimes, and one of my biggest concerns is people feeling left out. It's the same with 404 Day. That, you know, I put somebody on the stage, and I got one person on stage and 10 people mad that they're not on the stage.
And it always happens that way. Just like when I'm doing my award thing in September, as much as it's costing me to do this, I'm probably spending as much money for the awards when I finish as I am for the building. But every single person that I know that came through Shyran Showcase, that did something for me, that washed my car, did whatever they did for me doing it, from 82 to 90. I'm going to do another one after 90, but from 82, 78 to 90, and it's way more than I thought, they're going to get a legendary award because it's important to me that I recognize everybody that's ever done anything for me. Now I've got and people are adding people. You know, I was telling somebody. Remember I was telling you about Baby D, right? And I just saw Baby D, but never in my wildest dream did I think Baby D was in that era. So I would have left Baby D out if somebody had to call and say, Shyran, you know, you asked me, did you say anything to Baby D? Shyran, you asked me, did you say anything to Mo Beat? Shyran, did you said something? Did you say anything? So it's kind of like a tree that the branches are pulling out, you know. Like even with Mel, when I told Mel, her mama, right, the artist over here that you had the interview with earlier, that ain't sitting up here. When I said something to Mel, Mel started doing, I said, Mel, you got more dancers. I have more trophies for the dancers than I have for the whole doggone organization. She said, okay, fine, we'll figure it this way. We'll come up with a solution. But I cannot not recognize any of the dancers because all of the dancers are the same. But how many dancers is it? Is Lord 30 or 40 of them still living, you know? That's a lot of dancers for an award show.
Right.
So what am I going to do? I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it. Give everybody the respect.
Yeah, I'm giving everybody the respect.
It seems like you are very committed to being inclusive, and not leaving anybody out, and making sure nobody feels secondary.
Never really feel secondary.
Well, thank you for that, because I do think that a lot of people these days, they don't have the strong family or friends or support that they need, and so when you step in and you offer that, it's just so much power, and just from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everything you're doing, and continue to do and have done, and
I'm doing it selfishly. You know why?
Because that energy you get back.
I'm doing it because I figure that when I get really, really older than what I am now, I don't want to be sleeping up under no bridge. So I figured that all of these folk that we've been talking about gonna say, Shyran, you can have a night here, spend a night in this. I won't have to be sleeping up on the bridge with no tent. So I figure by the time I go through all of the people that I know and spend one night, I'll be too old and I won't have to worry about it. That's my thing.
Amen. I love your mentality. You just seem to live in a place of gratefulness, and I'm constantly reminding myself and everybody, you know, if you're scared of being broke or sparse, you've got to get into the form of the mindset of gratefulness.
You just got to believe. That's all. You know.
Well, I'm so grateful for what you've shared with us today.
I'm grateful for you having me.
Well, I can't wait to see what you bring to 404 Day in Piedmont Park.
Y'all better be good.
Um,
Y'all better
I'm gonna learn how to
I'm-
do a flip before then.
I am so, but you know what, Rick, I am so scared about that show. I've been so nervous about it. I've been
Why?
pushing it. I don't know. I just been on them so hard. I know y'all tired of me, but because I want them to just, because you got, your one show has got all of your, what I call celebrities or professionals or whatever you want to call it one, on that last show, right? And I want my kids to look as good or better. So when they go to the other show, they can say, oh, well, shoot, this whole thing was good. I don't want you to have some rinky-dink, raggedy show and then say, oh, well, here's put them on first because they weren't no good. Now we got to wait on the other show because the next time I'll be on your show. It'd be like when we did Sweet Auburn Fest. The next day when they say, oh, it's Shyran Showcase, a group going to be on that show. Shyran, can you bring your people? That's what I want.
you want the callback, the comeback sauce.
Yep, that's what I want.
It's you put them on the stage. It's y'all's job to make sure that we get the call back.
That's what I tell them. I say, I don't care what. I want to be able to do this anytime I get ready. I want to make the decision whether or not she's performed. Tay. Because Tay was there. Now, see, she really is a part of this whole thing because she actually was there both of the nights. So she just happened to be a little bit more, I won't say so much more professional. She just got her own. I mean, she's been doing it long. My kid's been doing this for the last, 1 or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, since when I get at 23, 23. This is going into their third year. She's been doing this, like she said, for 6 years. So she's a different breed, a different class. But she came down with us for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know. I
Not
didn't come
down, but she evened herself out. With
Like I
us.
said, I'm transitioning to an artist. So
Yeah.
in that aspect, I'm really just getting started. So, you know, I look at everything Miss Shyran shows me and teaches me as I'm taking it all in. I'm always learning. So it was not necessarily coming down. I'm, as an artist, in the artist perspective,
got one of the greats as a teacher.
You know, I'm new, so and I'm learning from a GOAT that has curated talented people that I listen to on the daily, you know. So when it comes to just different things, she's saying that in the aspect of I get booked and I get paid to do what I do all over already on a consistent basis.
And I'm trying to get them to that point.
You know, so like when it comes to 404 day, I said, of course, Miss Shyran, I'll do 404 day. But I had like 3 or 4 people trying to get that date already, but it's still open. So
Okay.
Actually, she got up until 4
Now I
day.
gotta put you on the flyer now.
you know,
Yeah, 'cause we took off the fly. I said,
We
okay.
ain't know.
Fine.
We thought you was.
I said I wasn't doing no bad advertising on nobody. Just like with okay, I got to say something about Mel. Okay, unfortunately, that I just got to say this about Mel. Mel dances, and she is I mean, she got her own little shop now. I'm impressed. You see people that have impressed me. She has her own dance school, her own shop where she do dance clothes and stuff like that. She's an entrepreneur, right? Even though she does hair, and she's still doing all this stuff too, and she's still dancing, and she still do all of these things that she do. But I didn't know until, and I've been with Mel forever, I didn't realize her mama could sing. Until I saw it, Eddie told me we were at another club looking at the video, and this girl was singing Mel's part of a song. So I told Taz, I said, Taz, they doing your video, you know, y'all need to be paid for it because somebody got your video out, blah, blah, blah. He said, I am getting paid for it because they already know that it was out. I said, this girl was singing this song, and he said, well, that was Mel's part. I said, Mel? What Mel? Her mom, what's the part of the song you sing?
Nasty dancer.
Nasty Dancer. Her mama does Nasty Dancer, and I've been knowing her forever. And she can sing, but she don't sing. She dances just like you dance. I just know her as a dancer and a great dancer. But she sang, and she sang better than she danced. She is, and plus Mel is the godmother of all of the dancers in Atlanta. Am I right?
Yeah.
She is. She the calculus of every dance. Every dance, Mel is like right there. You know, she, like I said, they think I'm the godmother of entertainment. She's the godmother of dancing.
Okay.
That's who you need to interview.
I'm in. Can we?
She already told me I have permission on her behalf to speak or answer for things pertaining to you.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
you did.
Yeah.
You text.
Well, nah, she told me this last week
You-
after he booked me to come today.
Yeah, you got to get Mel on.
Okay.
You need to get. I'm telling you, you need to get on Mel and get some of the Yink dance. Where, like you said, you started. The information you got started in '90. And I really not know that because everybody starts at night. Every time I hear somebody tell a story about Atlanta, oh, blah, 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 blah. But I know we started way before then. And see somebody like Mel and the dancers, like Shyran was a break dancer. And then he became an MC because Eddie was the DJ and he didn't talk. So Shyran would do all the talking. And that's how, I think Shyran was the one that created the MCs. Yeah. If you want to talk about how MCs started, Shyran was the father of the MC. He was the first MC to me in Atlanta, Georgia.
Because he brought the New York vibe down here with the
He ain't bring nothing down. He brought the New York breaking,
the dancing.
the dancing. But when he got but he wanted to be a rapper and a rapper. But wasn't nobody down here rapping, so he couldn't rap, so he was MCing. With Eddie. Eddie is really the one that know everything. He just don't never talk that much. But so he would talk and Eddie would play records. And that's how MCing started, with people MCing talking while somebody was playing music. They didn't do that at first, they just be playing the music. So Shyran is really the godfather of rapping, of MCing. Now Lightfoot used to be, and I'll tell it because you know, I laugh about that all the time. Lightfoot, MC Lightfoot, no, he does all of the soul shows, right? He's the MC for that. But Lightfoot used to do Michael Jackson. JD used to come to Shyran Showcase, and he was a little Michael Jackson dancer and singer, you know. And look at what JD is now. So you can say, oh, well, that's a success. So you can say, well, JD started, and then JD, where he is. No. I don't think he's better than nobody else, but I know that where he started and where he is now. You talk about JD and all the people that he had. Mr. College Park, that's who, DJ Smurf, that had like Soldier Boy and all those people. They were like, boy, he used to do club things, right? He was like a little DJ. Was he a DJ? He just did promotions. Smurf.
DJ.
He was a DJ. All these little children were DJ. I'm calling little children. Yeah, they were DJs, and look at what they're doing, Every one of them was just like doing Michael Jackson. I used to say, please don't do Michael Jackson, y'all, because now we're trying to, like you say, transition. We're trying to get into rap. And y'all keep making me let y'all do Michael Jackson, and they're going to be laughing at me. Chris Tucker come up there doing his little comedy. I said, do something with your face and your hat, And look at what, so you say Chris Tucker? Look at where he is. So could I say that Chris Tucker was better than JD or JD was better than Smurf? There is no better than. They all became what I wanted to see them become.
You must be so proud.
Oh, I'm proud. They claim they proud of me, but they ain't seen proud. I'm proud. I'm proud that they don't get mad with me when I see them. They say, "Oh yeah, she cussed me out."
Everybody I've heard the same story from a few people.
That I cuss them out all the time.
Yeah.
Terrible. I was terrible. I used to be really, really terrible.
I think that honesty opens up just such an avenue for growth, though. When you're not afraid to tell people what you really think. Because I think there's too much tiptoeing around and being polite in this industry, and people don't grow when they just are surrounded by people being like, "You're so great, you're so great."
A bunch of yes men.
Yeah, that's so. Thank you for not being afraid to stand up and be like, "This is what you need to work on." I can't imagine how much you said you put the kids to work on the computers. How helpful is that these days? That you can't be an artist without computer knowledge these days. So
and there wasn't even no computers around then. I don't think.
Yeah.
No internet.
They didn't have them in schools. They didn't have them in homes. They didn't have them anywhere. But we had them at Shyran Showcase. We really did.
Well, thank you so much. Is there anything that anybody wants to say before we get out of here? We could go around the table if anybody wants to share socials. Saturday.
What's happening Saturday?
Shyran Showcase.
28th.
The 28th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ain't no pressure to
Sammy Sound.
Sam.
Coming back. Got a busload coming down.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sammy Sound.
This busload from Augusta, this lady called me up about, and she said, and I really wasn't going to even do it, was at first. I made Sammy Sam do he's doing a concert for me this week because some woman from Augusta said that she missed last week, which he wasn't even doing a show last week. I don't think. Well, he kind of did a show. He did a show, and she saw it on the internet, and she said she's got a busload from Augusta. I think it's 56 people, but they're trying to get another busload because it's full to come up and see Sammy Sam. And we were already doing something.
We already packed. We gonna be double packed.
Because we Saturday was supposed to be our auditioning for the 6th. There was no pressure tour. But now we're doing a concert and
with the headliners and Sammy Sam.
And Sammy Sam. So yeah, Saturday is our next big.
So then by March 7th, I'm always looking for a way to utilize the resources I have to help people in my network. So I have this email address full. I probably have 100 artists that have emailed me to be on 404 Day. Could I say pull up to O'Reilly's and meet
Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday, every Saturday?
Any Saturday.
Okay.
So
just Saturdays.
And pick out who you want.
Saturdays. Because I wanted to ask you this, but we've talked about so many things. I'm like, when do I ask certain questions? So I'm going to tomorrow.
Let me say something to you about that asking me something, all right?
Okay.
You don't have to ask me nothing.
Okay.
All you got to do is say, Shyran, on the 7th, I want to do this, and on the 7th, you'll do it.
Thank you
That's
so
just
much.
where I am.
Thank you so much.
I mean, that's with anybody. Well, no, not with anybody, but
Well,
people don't ask me nothing. This woman didn't ask me to get a busload of people before she decided she was going to tell me that they coming to see Sammy Sam. Now I got to have Sammy Sam. Now I got to pay him because now he's doing a real show. She didn't ask me this,
Make it happen.
Yeah, she just, so you don't have to. And I'm just using it because this is newer, but people don't never ask me nothing. They just do it.
So, and for me, I feel like I've worked with a lot of people who are established, and so I tend to, in the beginning of our relationship, I tiptoe and move lightly, and then as I learn what works, then I'm able to be like, this is what we need to do. But for right now, I'm gonna ask, and we'll send some artists over there on Saturdays as best I can and contribute. And as we build our relationship, then maybe I'll be a little more comfortable to.
Are you asking me, can you come on the 7th?
I'm gonna. I think what I'm
Okay.
understanding is I can tell all these artists to come out on Saturdays in general.
No, I want you
starting-
to ask me.
Okay. Can we send some artists to?
No. I'm practicing my no. She told me I need to start learning how to say no. Yes, you did. You told me.
I
you
did,
said.
but I didn't think you was finna exercise it right now.
She did. Did you not tell me that this morning? Sharon, you need to learn how to say no.
Saturday.
Yeah. So I'm gonna practice with him since he.
Yeah, practice.
Okay.
That's
No.
okay with me.
N-O.
Okay. So don't send any artists over to
Don't say
O'Reilly.
nobody to me ever in life.
Well, hopefully we can find a place that I can, because I have all these artists and
Oh my God! Yes, he
You
is.
can send them to O'Reilly's, but you can't send them to Sharon.
To Sharon. You can send them to O'Reilly's on the weekend.
okay, so send them to O'Reilly's
Yes.
on Covington
Okay.
Highway.
Yeah, that's what you do. He
Okay.
is so funny.
Well,
Were you a comedian too when you were doing your
I
rapping?
want to. I did stand up one time. I
Well,
didn't.
you're
do
doing
good.
it right now. You're doing a good job.
Well, I'm having a good time, and I just, I try to just move lightly and just bring some value to the situation. And I really appreciate everybody's time here today. Miss Shyran Showcase, Tay Cheesy,
Yes, sir.
Satellite Syd, Eddie,
DJ Ed.
DJ Ed, Chicken, Chicken Art, and I'm sorry I didn't catch you. Amazing Prince,
He's the manager.
the manager. Okay, and Terradome Studios.
And it's gonna be the
back
only
here.
manager you will ever meet in my orbit.
Okay.
I don't believe in man. You know that, right? You see a real manager, look at him. Look at him real hard.
Yep, Mighty Haiku. That's the one that this all kind of started with. We had this song that said, "This is 404 over 808s," and my hippie girlfriend's mother at the time pointed out that April 4th and August 8th would always be on the same day. Like this year, they're both on Saturdays, and so they just the amount of weeks between them, they always just end up on the same day of the week. Whatever one is on. If it's on Saturday, it's on Saturday. If it's on Sunday, it'll be on Sunday. And so I started doing 404 Day and 808 Fest after the success of that song, which was on a TV show. We made a little check, and I was in my early 30s and was like, what am I going to do? Because I just don't want to be. I don't want to. I still do rap and make music actually, but I never introduced myself as a rapper.
Let me hear you rap.
This is 404 over 808s. Half the time we love digging in the crates. The other half we only want to hear the bass. Them southern fried southern guys. Here's a taste.
Oh, that's why you stopped rapping.
Oh, dog.
No, it's a rite of passage. You gotta hit me with some of that truth.
No. We're gonna make him rap the next time you come. I just want to see you. You got the little moves and stuff, because that might help.
Sometimes I might pop one shoulder, but I don't know if y'all got the budget for both shoulders, but
That was good. That's good. That's what. See what I'm saying?
You might need. You might can be the
Yeah,
one
you
of the
might.
hosts.
Yeah.
well, and I'm into it. I gotta gear up. If I'm gonna be the guy on stage, I gotta kind of have a moment in the back to turn that side of me
I'll
on.
tell
But
you
I
that.
prefer to kind of just be humble, my just my hands in my hand and just chilling. Like I ain't trying to just. How you kind of are like, it's all about my artist.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm trying to put on people. I'm trying to create a path for people, and sometimes I feel like I gotta kind of chill. I don't want to steal the show
Well,
from
you
nobody.
won't steal it, honey.
not at your place. No, you got
Not
a room full of stars.
in life. That rapping you just did.
Miss Sharon.
Yeah, I know he didn't do good. Why y'all gonna?
let me get you- let me
Do
get
not do that to this man.
Let me. I hit you with one more, and you
Okay,
can hate on it. It's all
okay,
right.
I'm gonna hate
We'll
on
put this. We'll lead with this right
Okay,
on the
okay,
podcast.
okay.
Let me see. It goes.
Put it up in it now. Ump it up.
I gotta remember the beginning of my. Now I'm freezing up.
No,
I-
ump it up.
You gonna
Get
share
to
a
the-
showcase?
So here's I'm picking up somebody in my Uber, right? This is the video, and I say, welcome to the A bro. Oh, you from San Diego? Man, never mind.
Shyran got him in
the.
No, I'm ready. You see my finger going like this. Keep on going. Let's go.
It goes.
Cause we gonna make a rap out of you.
Had to get his finger for
I said, oh yeah. Welcome to the A bro. Oh, you from San Diego? Well, everyone's an alien. We running out of space though.
See,
I don't know
well,
if
see what I mean? I tell you, all you gotta do is just,
Hit him with the.
hit him with, just.
Yeah.
If you don't,
Add a little
if you don't
swag to
sound,
it.
see, if you
Yeah.
ain't sounding good, I'm looking at the shoulders anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes the sound be.
Okay.
See how much better you did?
I
I'm
do.
telling
I
you.
do. I already improved. I've already been developed.
Just like that.
Lord.
Wow.
I'm so proud of you. I don't know what to do.
Oh man.
I cannot believe that you can rap like that. Seriously. And we ain't got no right rap in our orbit, no way.
All right, now-
We do. We got a Spanish guy. This Spanish guy, he just did. Oh, he's a singer. This not in this group right here, but I got the karaoke people. You remember the little guy? I mean, he came up there. You ain't never seen because you don't be on Sundays. This is our Sunday rock. He just like you. Then he all of a sudden he was just like, oh my goodness, honey. See what I'm saying? Look at this. The show. Play him. Give him a little beat. He be doing all this little stuff like this. You got it going on.
Can
man.
you give us a little taste of what you do? I'd like to go around. I don't want to be the only one here. Let's
Are you
make
ready? You want to put everybody in the hot
Yeah,
seat?
yeah,
He the
yeah.
guy.
Well, you know,
Cause you're not gonna do me. Cause I'm a writer. I don't freestyle, but I always keep some stuff on hand that I recently did. But
okay,
it's okay.
yeah. Let's hear it. Let's hear a little taste.
Okay.
And thank you very much.
Look, I'm gonna keep it GP. What's it? PG.
PG. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's cool.
Okay.
It could be a family show.
All right.
I don't know where she gonna get it from.
I don't know either. I've been writing some stuff, and I'm trying. All right. Hold on.
When you had all the songs, I heard.
You see what I'm going through?
Yeah. We'll pick
Find one without the M and the F's and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I'm trying to find something. Matter of fact.
No B's, no S's on MFs.
Okay.
No D's.
Okay.
No P's.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm gonna just do a throwback.
Let's do it.
With my back against the wall, mama said I had to go. So I ran out the house because I suppose I was grown, 16 without any sense. Smallest of them all, made the streets as my home. I seen a couple fall, but they ain't stopped me. I'm going to go and back and get it. I forgot that rap too. That was so old, but I'm sorry, y'all. That was back in 2014. That was like one of the first two things I
See,
ever
let me tell you something, Sid. You see how this man, he took his criticism because he didn't do good. You didn't do it for nothing, and you making excuses. You were better than her.
sorry, hold on,
Okay, let's move to the next one.
Mercy.
Move past her.
Hold on.
Because you already number one.
Hold on, Miss Shyran. Now, hold on.
I was 17 and I couldn't do this, and my mom wouldn't let me do this. We don't want to hear all that.
But I was thinking something positive.
But this man didn't say nothing.
Say MS
Oh,
and B's and C's and
oh yeah, that's how I
D's.
forget.
I was keeping it.
Let's give Tay Cheesy.
Yeah, come on, Tay
You got
Cheesy.
something to say?
Do I got something to say?
Sure.
Stand up.
You heard me? Nah, I ain't got too much to say. What you want me to say?
gonna
I'm
do
just
your
getting
rap,
us
your song.
all ready for the Breakfast Club. Let's.
All right, for Breakfast Club. All right, let me see. I'll give you a little something from backwoods side, I guess.
Thank you.
Lord have mercy,
That's
we
my
ain't got
song,
no
too.
beat. It's my first time doing acapella. I'm finna start sweating. Let me take that jacket off.
Yeah. Take a layer
I'm
down.
just playing,
take a layer down.
Here we go. Come on, everybody, we're dancing at the trail ride. We gon' work the middle and move our hips from left to right. I'm feeling alright, cause I'm on some moonshine. Step us to the front. It's time to do the backward slide to the right. 2 steps to the left. Now move it on up and turn it around with yourself. Now work that middle, baby. Boot scoot to the floor.
Don't let the
Now
death
slide to
lie.
the right, slide to the left. Come on, give me some more.
Hey.
Guess what? In the Carolinas,
Yes.
they gon' pop them fans.
Yeah.
In Alabama,
Yeah.
guess what? Shyran gon' dance.
Yes.
You know it's big in Texas, baby. We at the rodeo. Get what? In Louisiana, we like the Zydeco. I'm real hot in Georgia, where they like to swing. Country folks in Florida, keep doing their thing. In Mississippi, we don't play no games. Tay Cheese at the trail ride, and y'all know my name.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Now we see who won the talent show.
Now I'm back. Now I'm back. I'm ready.
You ready? You ready?
Oh my
I'm
God.
back.
I gave you that juice. There you go.
Take it. We're gonna end it up with
I'm gonna do the
this.
spot. I'm gonna do
We're
the
gonna
spot.
see everybody September 6th. We're gonna see everybody on April 4th.
Are we still on live?
Yeah. And
Are we talking?
we're gonna close it out with Satellite Sid.
Alright.
Hit us with the bars, and we're gonna shut it down.
We're gonna do the spot. So, meet me at this spot, yeah. Girl, you know it's going down. Red light, blue, yeah. Girl, you stay on my mind. You got me going crazy, driving me insane. I feel your energy when you're not around. And now I got you going crazy. Pull up on me, you feeling the scene, you feeling the vibe. I know what you need. The touch of my love is the feel that you fiend. Body rocking to the floor of the beat. Kinda crazy, just feel like a. Hey, I look over. I'm like, wait a minute. You giving me Eminem whoop that shit.
Whoop that trick. That hustle the flow.
Yeah.
No, you're slaying that. Thank you so much. Shyran Showcase, thank you for bringing your family in here.
This is my family.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We'll see you at O'Reilly's this Saturday and every week.
And the 7th is going to be booming.
The 7th is going to be booming. Okay, cool. So
Booming Saturdays.
Atlanta, pull
And you
up.
say you still looking for a host for 404 Day?
He was not looking for a host.
What you said?
We are open to having a host. We haven't decided. It's a priority we'll get to in the next couple weeks.
And I decided this morning that I wanted you to host. And he said that he did not care because he trusts me. And he was going to close his door for opening host. Is that what you told me?
If you say this is who it is, then we're gonna do our best to make that.
There
happen.
is no host in this world that's gonna bring the energy I can bring.
I like your attitude.
See, I told you you got good attitude.
Yeah,
Cocky attitude.
shiny.
Confidence.
Cool.
So you can tell all them other little folk that's trying to be a host on your show?
Tell her to go to the other 404.
Yeah, they need one. You got 2 404s, right? You got one. Send them over there.
Yeah. That's why we do the other 404 days, so we can send other people over
yeah,
there.
just send them on over there.
All
We
right.
got this one. We got this one on lock.
Well, thank you all, and cool. We'll see you guys at 404 Day, and we'll see you at O'Reilly's on Saturday.
Okay.
Cool.